In today's Your Healthy Family, we're following up on London Lyle's story. London was nearly killed in a car accident on her way to school and got the life-saving trauma care she needed right here in Colorado Springs.
I had broken 26 bones.
When London swerved to avoid a deer on the way to school and rolled her SUV, she was severely injured.
I had broken my collarbone, my elbow, and T3 to T11 on my spine had just been fractured like dominoes. I broke some amount of ribs. I had a crack in my pelvic bone. I was in a lot of pain, and I had a big cast on my arm from my elbow because they performed surgery on my elbow and my collarbone, and I had a collapsed lung, so a chest tube.
Dr. Paul Record was her trauma doctor at Memorial.
She hit her left chest pretty hard and broke a number of ribs and bruised her left lung fairly significantly. If you look here, this is what a normal lung should look like, and this one's all white, and this is bruising and bleeding from the impact of the accident. The other thing that really shows up well here is her clavicle on the left was significantly fractured. This is the plate that needed to go in to put that clavicle back together. You can also see this tube here in her chest. When she went to the operating room and they put her on the breathing machine, the positive pressure in her lungs combined with the injury to the lung caused her lung to collapse in the operating room, and I had to come down quickly and put this tube in so that we could re-expand her lung in the operating room before Dr. Fredericks could do what he needed to do.
London's road to recovery was long and arduous.
I was in a lot of pain, and for a long time I just didn't want to get out of bed, and they were like, you need to practice walking, you need to do all of these things, and I just was really defiant and stubborn about it. But Memorial ended up bringing in emotional support dogs that came, and that got me out of bed because they were like, if you want to pet them, you have to get up. And I was like, okay, I'll get up to pet the dogs.
Getting her life-saving care right here in the Springs did mean London had her friends close by from the beginning, and it helped in the healing process.
Being a teenage girl, they knew that I was I needed my friends. So actually that day, as soon as they found out about it, they all came in a horde and just left school. And they actually, before the emergency surgery, they allowed them to come into the ICU, even though you're only supposed to have 3 family members.
And when we got upstairs, she actually had a few moments of being somewhat lucid. And when they told her, we're taking you into surgery, she immediately sat up and said, I can't.
And I guess my collarbone was sticking out and I was all bloody, but I didn't get it. And so I was looking at them and I was like, why are you crying? And they were and I was like, oh Mom, I have to go take the PSAT. And she was like, you can't. And
their humor with which they handled that was beautiful. I mean, for 8 days, people joked, they laughed, they cried with us. It was beautiful.
I think it was really cool, yeah. And they allowed them to come several times. One night they actually showed up and brought pizza, and we all watched a movie. And that allowed my mom to actually go out to dinner for the first time in a while and go home and sleep. So they were really good about that, just because I think that was the emotional aspect, and the human aspect was equally as important as the medical side for recovery.
London feels like she's been given a second chance at life that she doesn't take for granted.
I think I'm just a lot more open. It definitely made my mom and I a lot closer. I think I care more about other people's experiences, and I understand that we're all growing and learning and no one really knows everything.
She's great today. She's a fighter, and they gave her that fighting chance here that morning. And it was tough. Those first couple of months were so hard. She had 26 broken bones. She'd had a collapsed lung between the broken ribs, the fractures in the spine, and the clavicle that was held together with railroad track and chain. And it was a challenge to come home and leave the safety of the hospital where they could control pain. But we did it, and she did it, and she was back in school full-time within a month.
For Your Healthy Family, I'm Ira Cronin. For more health stories, head to yourhealthyfamily.com.